Hey everyone, this is John Garrett with DramaDomain.com, and this is part 2 of my review of Stargate Universe Season 2, Episode 3. And where I left off last time was they just discovered on the second ship that they encountered, they had found one alien, and now they realize there's probably a bunch more aliens running around the ship. So what are they going to do? So now we don't know what those aliens are up to. Meanwhile, on the other ship, the word has gotten out that, hey, we're going home. You know, they're going to dial the Stargate and we're going to dial Earth. And we're just going to walk on through and go home. So everybody's happy, and you know this isn't going to end well. You're like, hey, we're only on Season 2, Episode 3. They ain't going home. So you know better than that already. The most you could hope for is maybe one or two people might get through the Stargate. But you know none of the main characters are going home, so whatever. Anyway, so they're all gathering around, and you're like, you fools. You ain't going nowhere. So it's just a matter of time, you know, what exactly is going to happen. And as it turns out, here we see this guy on the left. He's just getting blasted. You can see that he's getting blasted here. And Rush is looking like, oh crap, I'm next. He's about to get blasted just like his guard did. Because Rush is here pretty much by himself with that guard, you know, keeping an eye on the power transfer that they're transferring all that power over to the Destiny. And obviously that's a problem. So, you know, people don't, you know, these aliens obviously don't want that to happen. So they're stopping them. And Eli is seeing, oh crap, this isn't looking good. Something's happening here. And he's saying, oh God, the power is now reversed. The transfer is going from the Destiny from our ship to the other ship. That's exactly what we don't want to happen. We can't have this happening. But how can they stop it? As you can see here, the aliens have decided to reverse the transfer. And when you think about it, why would they let their ship be drained of power? You know, they need to survive too. They're not going to let that happen. So they've knocked Rush the fuck out here, which is what he deserved. But anyway. So these guys are taking the one alien they have with them back to the ship. Because I think that Colonel Young, because he did say bring the alien, and I think he knew, well, we're going to leave that ship without power. So you got to bring that guy with us, because we can't just leave him on a dead ship. Because that's just wrong. Anyway, but he decides, no, fuck this, I'm out of here, and there's really nothing to be done about it. And this guy misses. This guy needs his ass whooped for missing that alien. But luckily he did miss him, because why should he really be killed for wanting to get away? I don't know. Anyway, so as mentioned before, Rush was knocked the fuck out. He's on the ground. Now here comes our team, Telford. Oh crap, we got to do something. We got to stop this power drain, because they're saying that when the power drain gets to a certain level, you know, it's going to be irreversible. You're not going to be able to power those engines back up again. You're not going to be able to power this ship back up. It's just going to be floating rock, and then they'll all just end up dying. So they got to stop this transfer. And here's the thing is, they're like, we need to disconnect, but they can't. They can't figure out how to disconnect this thing. You know, they can't even figure out how to stop this power transfer. So they're kind of stuck. This is the only thing they can do, is stop that transfer somehow. So now here's our team trying to get back onto the other ship, and they're like, oh God, we gotta bail out and get back to the Destiny somehow. But now Eli's saying, hey, Telford, who stayed behind, Telford is our only hope. We don't have anywhere near enough time to figure out how to disengage these ships and you know, stop the transfer at the same time. We have to concentrate on stopping the transfer. So they're kind of screwed. They've only got like 10 minutes or something at this point. And so we're seeing here, you know, some kind of graphic of the power transfer. So, and Park is back there in the background just saying, hey, we got so little time. We don't have any time. Telford is all we got. And he's over there. Here's Telford. And Eli's trying to walk him through what he has to do. You have to do this, that, and the other. And Telford does say, you know, he has a smattering of understanding of ancient systems. I mean, he's an officer, a high-level officer in Stargate Command. So, you know, he's going to have to be trained on some of these things. So it is feasible that he knows some of it. But he knows just enough to understand Eli's instructions as he's trying to stop this power transfer. And the aliens have disappeared at this point. They've done what they do, and they're like going to let him try, knowing he's going to fail probably. But at the last second, the ship disengages, and you know, they undock and they get unconnected. And you know, us in the audience, you know, we know, well, yeah, it's Rush, because Rush ran off to his secret bridge and undocked the ship. But here's the thing, doing so has essentially executed Colonel Telford, because now he's on that ship by himself, and he has no way to get back to the Destiny. Now, of course, Rush is going to have to deal with his conscience in the form of his dead wife. And again, she's giving him that look like, man, I don't know about you. And he's saying, I had to do that. I had to do that to save us all. And she's saying, are you sure you didn't want to just save your dream? Because Rush is such a fucking bastard. He would rather strand these people out here with him. He doesn't want to be alone. If you want to stay, that's fine. But he should stay by his damn self. But you could tell he wants some people out there with him. I was disgusted. He's going to just trap them there with him. He was never even going to tell them that they could get the power from the other ship until Eli figured it out. But now Colonel Telford, his death warrant has been signed here. So now Colonel Young has to tell his friend here, hey, guess what, man? The ship disengaged, and now we are about to jump into faster than light travel. So we're leaving you behind, like way behind, not even a little bit behind. Like, you're never going to see us again, man. Sorry. And what's to be done about it? Oh yeah, nothing. And Telford is looking here like he knows the situation. He's a dead man, by himself on this ship. He's got some understanding, but is there any possible way he could figure out enough to catch up with them? Not really. It's a death warrant. It's a death sentence for him. But, these guys are military guys, and so he's going to face this with courage, and he's telling Young, hey, I tried. I had to give it a shot. And he's like, hey, man, take care of yourself and take care of the ship and take care of yourself. And he never does really, get an answer, because, those guys go and they zoom off into FTL travel back into warp space. And he's left alone on this ship, and you can see that, he's looking around, and when are those aliens going to make another reappearance? Well, right away, here they come. All of a sudden, here comes all of them, and they're surrounding them. You don't know what they're going to do, and there is some hope, because they did not appear to be immediately hostile or malevolent. So it's possible that they could treat him with some pity, or maybe try to help him or try to learn from him. If Rush had speculated that they may be a science team, so maybe they'd be interested in him and not try to kill him. Because really, until that guy tried to shoot the alien, they treated that alien pretty damn good. So hopefully he remembers that, and I would just hope that we're going to see Telford come back. I gotta believe he's got to show back up at some point, because this is a great part. This is a great role, and hopefully this season we'll see him again. But anyway, back on the Destiny, here comes TJ into the prisoners' quarters. And she's bringing them some blankets and bringing them, some things to sleep on and make their lives a little bit more comfortable. And you can tell it's because she's made a connection with this guy, and that's gonna be trouble. He's working his game. I don't know if he's working it on purpose or if something's just happening here, but that's gonna be a problem later on. And I got a feeling she might flip on a mofo. If he wants to leave the ship and she leaves too, try to go back to the other galaxy, or something. I don't know, but it could be an issue. And here's what's crazy. They do have the memorial service for Riley. Remember Sergeant Riley, who died last episode in a crash caused by Rush. Fucking asshole. So Rush is responsible for a lot of awful things here, and I just have so little respect for that character. He disgusts me, but he's a very interesting character, obviously. But anyway, who would have thought that we would see Camille here bonding? What is this guy's name? Sergeant, I can't remember his name, but he's still my boy. But they were very antagonistic toward each other. She did not like him. She as an HR person, he was a hothead and a problem, and she didn't like him, and she thought he was dangerous. But now here they are commiserating, and it only takes a few life and death situations, I guess, to bring people together. So You can tell they're both upset about Riley still. It wasn't that long ago. It was like just the day before, really, when you think about it. And there he is in the picture on the right there. And I remember he crashed and his legs were pinned, and people are upset. You know, they're remembering their friend. I mean, he was a calming influence around there, as I recall. And here's the thing about Chloe, and they show Chloe here, and the emphasis is that her leg does not have the garish bullet wound. You know, it's kind of healed. But here's the thing that I get out of this: did she manage to bring a razor along? Damn. How is she keeping the stubble down? Is she wasting a razor on her damn legs? You know, is it really that important? Shouldn't we see some hair or stubble there? Remember that on Lost too. Remember that show Lost, and the chicks were looking good, and wow, look at those legs. And it's like, damn, do they have a razor? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense a lot of the time, and we can see a little bit of the wound there, a little bit, but not that much. Anyway. This chick disgusts me. I don't like her, but I'm sure we'll be forced to deal with her situation, which is slightly more interesting than the TJ baby situation. So anyway, let's move on. Rush, he's feeling guilty, as he should, and he's forced to deal with his being an asshole all by himself in his bridge area. And, he knows he left that guy to die, left Telford to die. And, that was his choice. It was his call, and he made the call. That's the call he's always going to make. He's going to make a selfish call for himself every single time. And, he's sitting there, and he's coming to grips with it. And I'm sure he's going to rationalize it because, that's what he does. He rationalizes it. But man, I don't like this guy. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't like the roundup, montage songs that they pick. Some of them sound kind of like pop songs, and they're not really appreciated by me. I don't care for it. I mean, I don't really need to hear somebody singing and hear a whole bunch of guitars and crap. I'd rather for the standard sci-fi, operatic type of themes and musical score sort of music instead of pop type music. I didn't like that at all. Anyway, so that was the end of this episode, and another great episode, I thought. I mean, very powerful. Telford being left behind like that was very harsh, man. That was very cold, and I hope we can see that guy again, which I'm sure we will, but how soon? I mean, will we see him die? Will we see him, catch back up with the crew? What circumstance is going to happen to bring him back into the fold, and how long will it be? And I'm very anxious to stick around next week and see what's really going on. So why don't you guys let me know what you thought of it, and let me know what you think of the season so far. Until next time, thanks for watching.